What is going on, everybody? It is Ahmed, and I am back today with yet another video for you on. Today, guys, we need to talk about Autolus Therapeutics, as now it has seen an increase for price target from some significant investment banks and analysts from $1.95 to potentially $11, even $12 in the near term. But remember, as always, never financial advice, just trying to put you guys on the plays that I'm in. If you're new around here, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm and also consider subscribing to the channel. Now, Autolus Therapeutics. What in the world is this stock or company, and why is it so attractive? So Autolus Therapeutics is basically looking and working with CAR T cells. They are working with a very cutting edge technology in the clinical space, healthcare space, and also just biology benchside space. And they've already seen some significant good data with their current products that are in the market and have seen even some revenue being generated for their stock. Now, if you go on their website, Atolis Therapeutics, I'm going to have the links down in the description below, of course. It's dedicated to every detail that drives CAR T cell success. You can go in and see they're developing treatments for patients with cancer and autoimmune disease. Specifically, the thing that I'm most intrigued about is leukemia and the things that they are doing in that space. Clinical stage programs for hematological and solid tumor indications, as well as autoimmune diseases, and transforming treatments for adult acute lymphoblastic leukemia, as I just mentioned. So again, one that doesn't have the best prognosis or again, best outcomes for patients that are diagnosed with these disease states. But what they're trying to do here is utilizing CAR T cell therapy to then treat these conditions. Again, as a pharmacist myself, I do enjoy looking at some of these early stage biopharmaceutical companies. They do come with some significant risk reward ratios, and we'll discuss that towards the end of the video. Now, who are they? The leadership team. So Dr. Christensen Eaton, he's one of the individuals that's actually, he's Swiss based, but again, a PhD in biology, and he kind of came from a different biopharmaceutical startup that had some significant success and created his team over here. He's the CEO and the person running the show at Autolus Therapeutics. And we have Miranda Neville. I would recommend that you read each and every one of these bios. Some physicians on board that they have full time that are helping with this research. But again, this is very PhD science heavy work than more clinical based practice work, even though they have rolled out some phase 3 clinical trials. One of them being right here. So they specifically were targeting with autoleucel in adults with B-cell acute lymphoblastic leukemia. This is on the New England Journal of Medicine, published last year, and I think one of the reasons that we see an investment bank like Needham go ahead and increase their price target from $10 to $11 on a $1.95 stock, like ticker symbol AUTL or Autolus, is for the following reason. Now, results. What happened in this clinical trial, and what do you care about as an investor? Of the 153 patients enrolled, 127 received at least one infusion of obe-cel and were evaluable. Now, in cohort 2A, 94 patients, followed up by 20.3 months, overall remission occurred in 77% of their patients, with complete remission about 55%, significant confidence interval of 95%, 45 to 66, and a complete remission and incomplete hematological recovery in 21%, which this here, when you hear the words complete remission with incomplete hematological recovery, what does that even mean? Understand that they didn't show signs of cancer from a blood work perspective, from a scan perspective. They looked good from the doctor side, but incomplete hematological recovery is meaning maybe they didn't get back to baseline or where they once were. Now, they go in and talk about more of the data, but what you need to understand is that obe-cel resulted in high incidence of durable response among adults with relapsed refractory B-cell ALL or acute lymphoblastic leukemia, with low incidence of grade 3 or higher immune-related toxic effects, funded by Autolus Therapeutics. And again, you can consider that when you're making your due diligence yourself, because when you have these clinical trials, oftentimes they are funded by the pharmaceutical company or biopharma tech startup company that is then potentially leading to some bias. But again, it was a randomized trial. You can read about it. You can read more into it through the New England Journal of Medicine if you want to do more due diligence. But here is what's most important. is what is the potential for Autolus Therapeutics. So right now, it is currently sitting at $1.95. I'm looking at tip ranks here. $7.93 is the basically baseline 12-month forecast for Autolus Therapeutics, meaning a 370% upside from where it's at today. That's based off 5 buy ratings. The high being $11, the average being $7.93, and the low being $5. Meaning, if any of the analysts that have right now taken a stab at it, these are individuals that aren't just, again, a person that's in front of a camera on a YouTube channel. No, these are people that have dedicated their entire lives, decades and decades of experience at looking at biotech startups, pharmaceutical companies, whatever it might be. But again, that's why we need to pay attention to when these numbers are shared with us. And that's what I'm here for, to kind of be the person that at least educates each and every one of you on why I think this could be a potential good buy to add to your portfolio. Now, the most important, of course, is Needham. And this is not just a regular firm. This is an expert firm, an investment banking firm, and they have an $11 price target. And we have Muzo Securities saying a $12 price target, but the most important here from Gil Blum is strong buy position with a 465% upside from current price. Again, from even investment.com or investing.com, you can see Needham raises Autolus Therapeutics stock price target on Octazil launch success. So one of their new therapies that just came out. From $11 to $11 from $10 is what they changed it. The firm cited the impressive first-year launch of Octazil, which generated approximately $76 million in sales as a key factor in its decision. Needham also added Autolus to its conviction list, replacing TSHA. Needham projects Autolus will reach a break-even by 2028 based on Octazil sales alone, countering investor skepticism about the company's path to profitability. The firm highlighted potential market expansion opportunities based on data and pivotal the Felix study and Obicel results in the R&R pediatric acute lymphoblastic leukemia. Data looks good, numbers are looking good, and again, you have individuals and firms like Needham that are increasing their price target because you got to do what the big dogs are doing, what the big players are doing. When you're seeing people that are in the space that have significant portfolios, multi-billion dollars of assets under management, that are dabbling into these kind of companies, then you need to make sure you're paying attention. Again, the last 5 days were up 17.8% for Autolus Therapeutics PLC. Ticker symbol is AUTL. And if you look at the 5-day, but remember, where were we once with this? Where were we once upon a time with Autolus Therapeutics back in even 2020 during the pandemic? It was ran up when it went live. It was right around, let's call it back in 2020, $10. Once upon a time, it was at $25, touched an all-time high in 2018 of right around $34, and has since entered into the penny stock stage. Valued currently at $500 million at $518 million. I think that this is a reasonable stock to put on your watch list. Do your due diligence. I gave you a form of mine. Read about Obicel, read about all the different therapies that they're doing with the CAR T cells. See the things that are in their pipeline from phase 1 and phase 2, not just their phase 3 clinical trials. But if you're seeing Needham themselves stating facts and saying that they believe that by 2028 we're going to see a break even for a biopharmaceutical startup, you should be extremely bullish and paying attention to these numbers. So again, I'm excited to see what happens with ticker symbol AUTL. For full transparency, you guys saw I made a post on my community tab about my new $10,000 Robinhood portfolio dedicated specifically to the Pop Capital channel. I'm going to be posting all my buys on there, but to start, this is looking like one that I do want to add on in addition to some of the stocks that I've talked about in the past. I have not established a position yet, but I'm looking to do so hopefully before week's end. I'm just watching to see what happens in terms of the technical analysis, price range, and price action. So I appreciate your guys' support. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I think we've reached 140 subscribers on the channel. So I hope we continue to see this awesome growth. It's been fantastic coming back and tapping back into the stock market, even though I've been talking about crypto heavily over on the Europop channel. But I think, again, the upside and having a diversified portfolio, looking into things like equities, stocks, mid cap, low cap stocks as well. Could be something that people should consider. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. That's all I have for you guys today. And until next time, as always, keep investing. Peace.